Get ready to dive into a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borderlands of men. The Adventurer-Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, or as we like to call it, Acts 2, is now live on Kickstarter. Acts 2 is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. You'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, or even conquer an empire, Acts 2 supports your playstyle. Acts 2 integrates experience point mechanics, making campaign activities a seamless part of the core gameplay loop. Your character levels up in new and exciting ways each time you play, adding massive replayability to each of your adventures. Acts 2 offers 18 character classes, 378 spells, new combat mechanics, and so much more. Support Acts 2 on Kickstarter today.
Somewhere in between, round the table with your friends, playing Dungeons and Dragons. And if life ever knocks you down, your dice will surely turn around. Roll your stats, it's time to quest. Let's put your characters to the test.
Hello and welcome to Knocked Prone, a podcast of high crits, small fits, and varying wits. My name is Cade, and I'm the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure, and we have a birthday in the house. Lakir's turning 13 today.
Hello, everyone.
It is our very own Mason Sedal's birthday today, so everyone on 3, happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday! Awesome.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yes. All right, so I'm joined here by the players.
Mason playing Lakir.
Brooklyn playing Litzy.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Blink.
All right, awesome. So as we last left our adventurers, they fought against the giant troll named Topher. And Topher was in the Feywild, and he was weird, and he had like these 80s skates going for him and like parachute pants. And after they defeated Topher, they were able to save the Dragonborn woman who was being attacked by Topher. The last thing the Dragonborn woman said to you guys was, "Thank you, I knew you would come for me." And that's where we left off. What are you guys doing?
I guess, can I turn back into myself, or?
Right? Yeah, so Blink was hit down to an inch of his life, literally 1 hit point left. And it enacted his brother mark that he and Tess both share. And the brother mark allows for Blink to turn into this flame spirit guardian that will protect Blink's body in the event of near death. And so, yeah, so you are totally able to shift out of that once the danger is gone, and now you are standing dragonborn, covered in sunflowers. Litzy is covered in daisies, and Tim is ginormous still.
Yeah, which, on that note, of course, I make sure the Dragonborn woman's okay. I immediately go and check on Tim and make sure he is okay.
Yeah, okay. Tim is hiding in the bush. Like, you guys were in this thicket of trees, and he's hiding in a bush next to it. And out with Tim comes this large tiger covered in lilies, and it is purring as it walks next to Tim.
Hi.
I see you've met my pet. This is my tiger. She's covered in lilies, as you see, as per many of the animals here at the Feywild. Many of the animals that are touched by the Feywild are covered in these flowers, the Dragonborn woman says, as she points to Blink and Litzy, who are covered in flowers.
I think your pet is amazing.
Oh, well, thank you. She does not like to see me get hurt, and does not also like to hurt others, and so she hides whenever there is danger around, which kind of doesn't make her the most reliable of animal companions, but all the same.
Yeah. I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, hello. I feel like I know you guys so much from Tess and Blink, and my name is Adelina.
While she's saying this, I'd like to try to make a sleight of hand check for gesturing towards the mark and trying to imply is it all right to talk about this now?
Litzy and Blink, you guys, as you're noticing these flowers covering your bodies, you notice, Blink, that it feels like it's giving you The longer that you're in the Feywild, the more that you're becoming comfortable with it, and your weapons are also covered, blink, by these sunflowers, and it gives you a +2 to charisma and attack rolls.
Oh, awesome. While in the Feywilds.
Okay,
cool,
and then,
cool.
And then Litzy, you get a +2 to charisma and your AC while you're in the Feywild.
So attempting to gesture towards the Dragonborn mark, towards this lady, to see if it's okay to speak of it now. Oh, it moved by now. But it was a 17 with my modifier for sleight of hand.
Oh, yeah. So with a 17, she notices and she nods, and she looks at the group and, taking your lead, Tess, says, well, I was only able to appear to Tess in his dreams and let him know of the troubles that I was in here in the Feywild, because while I was in the material plane, the Dragonborn and the Druids had somewhat of a alliance. And so, Tess, that's why I was able to appear to you with your Druid background, and probably why you have that mark on your arm, as well as Blink, you have that mark on your arm because you are a true Dragonborn.
Yeah. So that's why I was trying to get us to come out here, even though I wasn't supposed to talk about it until now.
Right, well, we're out here. What do you need?
As you're looking at Adelina, you're noticing that she has these orange tufts of fur poking out of her scales, as well as the flowers that are covering her scales, which are also sunflowers. Well, you see, the Feywild is in a war between the giants, led by the giant king of Twilight, and the Dragonborns, and we have aligned ourselves with the Fey here. Now, the giants are trying to kill us Dragonborns to align themselves with some hags that we have imprisoned, and us Dragonborns, well, we're just trying to survive the harsh Feywilds so that we can live here. And, well, we need your help, and I need your help, actually. I am a little bit of a... I don't want to call it a politician, but that's exactly what I am. And I need your help to bring the courts together, the summer court, the winter court, the spring and the autumn court. I need you to help me bring them together in a peaceful harmony so that we can start this style of government that allows people to vote on what they want to happen and allows them to have voices rather than just blindly following some leader who has no qualifications, as I'm sure that you who are from the material plane might know about. It's called democracy that we're trying to pull here, but, it's a form of democracy. It's kind of different.
I have literally never heard of that form of government before, but it is interesting to learn about. Actually, fairly new. I don't think that anything of a People's Republic was mentioned in any of the history books of Great Grumbopolis, so...
I'm not too surprised. Why would Great Grumbopolis, a city set for tyranny, teach its citizens about democracy?
Interesting. I'm on board.
Wonderful! I would like for you to kind of be my, campaign advisors a little bit. I need some help bringing together... As you can see, the trolls and the giants are not very keen on me being in the autumn court or the winter court. We are currently in the autumn court, as you can maybe see from the trees. And you notice that the trees have the red and yellow and orange bright colors that look like they're almost on fire because they're so vivid. And the trees are, again, gummy and they look just odd. But that's why us Dragonborn are here, after all. We noticed... After we were banished from Great Grumbopolis, that we were sent to Fort Outcast, and then Fort Outcast, it developed quicker than we wanted it to, and people weren't taking our advice as to what we should do politically in order to structure a working government, and we foresaw a downfall of both Grumbopolis and Fort Outcast, and so we came here to try and develop a better form of government that we might be able to bring it back to the material plane and better live in harmony.
Wow. I feel like I should introduce my friends. So you know Blink, of course. Do you know of Lakir and Litzy?
Well, only vague things that, when I appeared in your dreams, occasionally I would see faces, but no. Lakir, it's nice to meet you. I'm Adelina, and I'm Blink's cousin. cousin, kind of distantly related, but like your grandma's my grandma's sister, and like, all dragonborns are kind of related somehow. I mean, it's the Feywild. And she, pats you on the shoulder and she says, and Litzy, it's very nice to meet you as well.
It's nice to meet you. Actually, I'm really glad that we've already made a friend here in the Feywild because we happen to have some of our own goals as well. So perhaps you can help us. Or I guess me. I'm looking for a woman who is my aunt. I sort of have a bone to pick with her, and I would really love to be able to find her if you could help us with that. Her name's Raven.
She gives you a very concerned look as you're describing this thing about your aunt, and she says to you,
Oh, I don't know anyone named Raven, I don't think. But, no, I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find her.
Thank you for being willing to help us.
You're very welcome. And Litzy, are you... I don't know how to say this politely. What race are you?
You don't have a lot of gnomes in the Feywild?
We have gnomes in the Feywild, but none that sprout up with Feywild energy that causes them to sprout these floral attachments.
I don't think I can answer that question for you, but I'd be curious to know as well if that seems like an oddity.
Well, you said your aunt is from here, right?
I suppose so. So I might have some roots here. I believe my father, he might be somewhere around here as well.
And his name?
His name is Harold.
Oh, don't know any Harolds either. But I'll keep my eye out for a gnome named Harold. He's
Yes.
a gnome, right?
He is.
Okay, just had to check.
What? She said there was all the different courts. What one do you think would associate with your father the most?
Oh, that's beyond me. I have no idea. I feel that my knowledge is actually a little bit limited when it comes to the Feywild. So we'll have to maybe explore that a little bit.
Well, perhaps the courts themselves will have some answers.
Right. Well, we're right quick next to the Autumn Court. It's through this forest a ways.
So, what exactly, specifically, you want us to help unionize these courts? How?
Well, an election is taking place soon, and there are two candidates. The person who is opposing me is the Giant King of Twilight, and he's got this kind of posse that works for him. They're kind of mobbish. I'm sure you just met Topher. He was one of his henchmen, and you might have heard from the trees somebody talk about their leader, which is the artist formerly known as Giant.
and I am just advocating for true democracy where no one leads, but laws are upheld.
You're wanting us to kill them? You're wanting
No,
us
of course not. We wouldn't. That's illegal.
Not officially.
No.
Historically, we haven't had much of a problem with that. We just want to throw that out there.
Well, my plan was just to talk to the other courts and sub-courts and secure the vote, and I can't be everywhere at once, and the election's coming up in less than a week, and I need some hands here, and I called on some family. And I'm glad that you guys are here.
I talk out of the side of my mouth, to my group, and I'm like, this is sounding like a whole lot of what we did in Great Grumbopolis, you know how well that turned out.
I'll kind of whisper back and say, it's true, but this time we have things to gain. I think we go along with it.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it. I'm just pointing out that I don't think she realizes that we kind of do things our own way.
That's fair.
Anyway, and I turn back to her.
I didn't want to eavesdrop. I plugged my ears, obviously. That'd be rude of me. I'm a very honest person. And I think that sticking together is the best option we have out here. But if we're going to survive, we gotta base this on mutual trust. I mean, we're second cousins, Blink, but I don't know you. And you don't know me. But I promise you that I will use my resources out here to keep your party safe as long as I am able. And in turn, I hope that you will help me to be protected by your wonderful party of campaign advisors, as you are. And as soon as the King of Twilight is dethroned and we can put new leadership in position, I don't want to be lead. I am just trying to set up this government of checks and balances. I'm just here to facilitate for change. But I promise that I will help you with your fight against Amalek. I am so sorry about Boggy Billy. I saw his body laying over there. Actually, speaking of which, he has family here, and they're actually on my voters list that I was hoping to appear to next. Would you guys like to go and, I mean, you knew Boggy Billy better than I. I've only seen him around the trees. You had actual conversations with him. I was wondering maybe if you could go and tell his family where he's gone.
Yes, goes.
I will. What direction is the courts that you're needing to head to?
Well, the Autumn Court is to the north, past this forest. This forest that we're in is called the Waxed Woods, and there's a Prickerbush Prairie, or you could go through the Pixie Plateau, but it goes to the Autumnal Courts, and that's where I was heading next. However, I don't think it's quite necessary to go all the way to the Autumnal Courts. There's a large population of awakened trees in the Waxed Woods that if I could get their signature vote, the Autumnal Courts are basically locked.
All right. Does your beast know the way?
That's a wonderful idea. Yeah, Tess, do you like animals?
I do. As you zoom out, sorry, I'm definitely trying to pet the animal right now,
Yeah.
almost half distracted from the conversation,
And
hanging out with her
it's
beast.
nuzzling right into you. And she says, and I've noticed the magical essence of your fox on you as well.
Be very curious about that, and I do want to summon Phoenix because he is so animal companions are from the Fae. I don't know if they take a different shape or anything there, but this is his home plane, so I'm gonna let him roam. So yeah, I'll snap down, let him appear.
And he's like a physical form, and he's got these Fey antlers going.
I'll actually put him into my arms and be stroking him and say, if your beast knows the way, I can inform Boggy Billy's family while you all travel north, and I can catch up.
Well, I'm actually... I was hoping that you guys could help me with my travels up north. I was heading back to the Summer Court. You see, I'm currently heading back from the Winter Court right now, and as per my encounter with Topher, you can tell it didn't go that well. And I want to make sure that there's no repercussions of me entering the Winter Court unannounced on the Summer Court. That is where I am from. But if you all would like to go talk to Boggy Billy's family, to the Autumn Courts, wherever you'd like, and come and meet me in the Summer Court, which is just south of here, you can't miss it. I am sure that we would be able to commune again.
Yes, before you go, Link, do you have any questions about the rest of your people?
I have so many questions. I've just been sitting here baffled looking at everything, listening, and I kind of step forward and I ask, so how many of us are there left?
We've lost number. We're thriving here. We're doing really, really well. We are in control, in tandem with the Fae. We control all of the Summer Court and the Spring Courts. Now, the Autumnal Court and the Winter Court are controlled by the Giants and the Unseelie Fae, the bad guy Fae, as I like to call them. But they, obviously not to their face, they're voters.
Her deplorables moment.
Oh no!
She's going to be a great leader.
Well, she's not a leader. She's just bringing in the democracy. I would love to show you around to the Summer Court sometime. When you're done with the Autumn Court, if you want to come back, and I could show you all of your people. I could show you. Maybe we can even get to meeting your parents. Maybe.
Oh.
Yes. Roll me an insight. Roll me an insight check.
Insight check?
Huh?
Oh,
Okay. I got a 5. Got a 5 on that inside check.
You glean nothing more from what she was saying. It seems that maybe she might have been leaving some information out, but you can't tell if it was that or if you just don't know the customs here in the Feywild.
Okay.
So yeah.
Also, what type of dragonborn is she?
She is a red dragonborn with
Okay.
orange, like a few orange scales.
Okay, awesome.
Looks very similar to you.
Okay, cool. And do I see a mix of different ones around, or?
She's the only dragonborn in the area currently.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because you guys are currently in the autumn court, and so there's like a line in the sand where the spring and the summer court, which is on the south side of the Feywild, don't cross over. Well, the south and the west side of the Feywild, and they don't cross over into the east or the north part. Which east is where the autumn court is, and north is where the winter court is.
Okay. I was also going to ask, do these people plan on staying in the Feywild, or do they ever have any, want to go back to the material world?
Well, the hope, Blink, is that I would like to bring this style of government to the Feywild, and then I was hoping to come back with you guys and help take down the corrupt government that is in Grumbopolis and establish rule there that is better based off of not rule, but rule by the people, whereas everyone gets a say instead of this tyranny.
Okay. Right on. Okay.
But of course that's completely up to. I mean, if you don't want me to come back with you, I mean, I understand. Like family, I don't want to cramp your style and your space. You know.
No, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd love to help you take down Amalek. I don't mean to cross words with you, here. I don't know your exact relationship with your father, but
You're welcome to fight him all you like.
Oh, well, then wonderful. I'd love to help you in your fight against Amalek and help you, Litzy, find your aunt and your father here in the Feywild and help you guys any way that I can. So do we have a deal, my campaign advisors?
Yes.
Agreed.
Wonderful. Now, I'm off to the summer court to secure their vote, as well as to make sure that there is not repercussions coming from the north. And Tess, Lakir, can I trust you to take care of this tiger?
So while you guys were talking, I kind of went over and started fastening Boggy Billy's body to Tim. So I'm off in the distance a little bit.
Okay. Fasten Boggy Billy's body to Tim. And yeah, so she talks to the other three of you and says, can I trust you three with my tiger? I would like her back. I have yet to even name her. If you find a name that she enjoys, feel free to come back and bring her back to the summer court with me. And I hope to see you all again very soon. And remember, a vote with Adelina is a vote for freedom. And she nods to all of you and snaps her fingers and teleports away.
Oh, awesome.
I'll kind of meander on back with Tim and the tiger.
Yes, let's be on with Boggy Billy and then to speak with some trees, I guess.
Okay, so you guys go north a ways. As you're walking more into the north of the woods, what would you guys like to be doing while you're on this walk
I
through
would
the
like
trees?
to reach into my bag.
Into your animal bag?
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay.
I'm gonna have all the animals right now. 5.
So while we're walking, I'm going to tell everyone. So I have something to tell you. While I took the form of the wildfire spirit, something spoke to me and told me that I was old enough and the time had come for me to take my new name. And I heard my new name is now Torin. So I will no longer be Blink.
All right. Well, I must say, Torin is much more interesting name than Blink. I do like it.
I think it's very well suiting. I'm excited to use it.
I'll try to remember.
How do you spell it?
Torinn. One of the N's is silent.
Awesome. I'll change your name in my notes. And Tess, as you reach into your bag, You pull out it hums as you reach your hand in, and you feel this fuzz. And as you pull it out, a giant bumblebee comes out. And the bumblebee you pull out of your bag is the same size as Tim.
It's a giant bumblebee.
Wow. It's all fuzzy?
It's all fuzzy.
Wow. I'm just gonna pet it and like try to figure out how to like be around it without hurting its wings.
With the bag, it's totally, nuzzling up next to you, and it only flies away to go get Hector. It only flies away.
Thank God, Hector.
My brother bee. It only flies away to go get nectar, and then it comes right back to you and nuzzles back up against you again.
Lovely.
Yeah. And with that, Litzy, what are you doing?
I was actually going to ask if we have a ways to walk or if we're going to be there shortly.
About 10 minutes.
I guess one thing I actually did want to add is sort of I liked when Tess did this to give, or I guess when Danny did this, to give a little bit of insight to kind of where Tess was at. Especially as we've entered into the Feywild, I've become increasingly more like emotional and angry, thinking about my aunt and my mom now that we're actually here, because we've kind of been off like doing lots of things, in the meantime. But now that we're here, it feels like it's like getting closer and closer to do like whatever I feel like I need to do to like figure this out, So since we leveled up last game, I actually took my next level in Barbarian because that's just how I'm feeling right now.
Nice.
So, anyway, I'm got some internal flamage going on.
Love it.
To quote my favorite thing, like, I love that for you.
That's wonderful.
In like the real way, though.
Lakir, as you're walking, you hear humming to the left of you. It seems to be pulsing and like calling your name almost.
I was very deep in thought before this happened, so I'll kind of break out. Can I tell which it's coming from my left?
Mm-hmm.
I'll start following it.
Yeah. So you walk to the left, and you walk for like 5 minutes. You can still hear the group, talking. You can hear the buzz from Tessa's bee in the distance, but you stumble upon this gigantic pool of swirling blue energy, and it's like a maelstrom of just this tidal wave whirlpool that is massive. You can't even see the end of it, and it calls forward towards your name, and it says, "Look here, I take only so I can give. Provide me with a magical item, and I will provide you with one that is greater."
I'll take, I guess, I have my bag of wands. One of the wands in, or would I have to drop the whole wand?
No,
drop the whole bag of wands.
You can drop a wand in.
A random wand.
Roll me a d12.
Okay, 12.
Okay, you pull out Tasha's wand of caustic brew.
Okay. I won't even really give it too much mind before tossing it in. I assume I'm only given one wand per day.
Yeah. Okay. Roll me a d4.
3.
So you drop this wand in, and the voice says, "Thank you. And now, a gift in return." And an incorporeal hand, like a ghostly hand, comes out of the maelstrom and hands you a black book.
Take it. Does it have any bindings or any labels or anything? Is it just plain?
It has actually a tongue nailed to the front of it. And it has these etchings on the front of it that are black, and it looks very... It's got leather binding, and as you hold it, the maelstrom whispers, "I think that you'll like this. Now go." And as you inspect the book, a little vial falls out.
A vial?
A little vial of liquid. Looks a little lucky.
Okay.
Happy frickin' birthday!
Hey!
Recognizing it from what it was from Blink's. In any case, I'm going to drink it. And then as I kind of realize what happens, I'll go towards the group as quick as I can, basically starting to yell their names.
Yeah. And you guys, Litzy, you did notice that Lakir was gone. Was there anything you wanted to do while he was getting that magic item?
I was just gonna see, because as much as I really truly love Lakir, I don't really trust him. So I was just gonna, and I guess I'm a little more sneaky now. But I was just gonna try to like follow him behind him from a distance and see if I could watch what he was doing. Assuming that I didn't hear the buzz or anything, but I just see him leaving.
Roll me perception to see if you noticed that he was leaving.
7.
All right, so you are walking, and the buzz of Tess's bee is distracting, and you are just kind of like crunching leaves under your feet and just having a good time, and you don't notice.
I don't notice the buzzing, or I don't notice Lakir.
You don't notice Lakir leave.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Until 5 minutes later, when you start hearing me in the distance yelling, "Litzy! Doran! Tess! Come quickly!" And I'm just repeating that as I'm running towards you guys.
Okay.
Who's that?
I run that direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll follow.
Okay. You meet up with Lakir, and he shows you his cool new item that he got.
Before I even show them it, I'll do a... There's a pool of magic. It spoke to me, and it gave me this. And I show them the book, and I say, for a wand, and it may have things for you. Am I able to retrace my steps
You are.
towards it? Mm-hmm. Me as a player feels like this is going to disappear, but at the same time, my character would still show you guys. So I lead the way back to the pool and try to show them what's there.
And again, you see this huge just maelstrom of energy. And Blink, actually, you recognize this. You don't know why, but a part of you just knows that this is where your wild magic comes from.
Oh, okay.
This huge pool of water is wild energy that is just flowing through you.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Anyway, it told me that I had to give something up for something in return. And I did, and it worked. And you guys want to try it? It's kind of exhilarating.
I walk up. I don't really have anything of very much value, but Tess has been thinking about like how he wants to like present himself, and even though it's probably not very valuable to this pool, and he understands that, he's going to toss in his wooden shield that he uses in combat.
Okay. You toss in your shield, and the voice speaks to you and says, "A small sacrifice yields small reward." This incorporeal hand reaches up and hands you a green cloak.
I will take it and say thank you. This is lovely.
And it whispers, "This is equivalent." And as you're noticing it, give me an Arcana check.
3.
It is really frickin' green. It's awesome. It is so cool. Oh
I'm
my
gonna
gosh.
put it on.
Okay.
Like when your grandma gives you something, like a jacket or something, you wear it.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, this thing's pretty sweet. You have no idea what it does.
Lovely.
It works. I'll motion towards both of you excitedly, as if...
I'm like panicking a little bit, like checking my person and like looking in my bag of holding and like trying to remember what items I have and what I'd be willing to give up.
If after like a bit of you sitting there, I'll go and you'll see Lakir push 2 stones into your hand. It is 100 gold worth of chaos gems. Like the magic infused gems.
Are you sure I can have this?
Oh, like Lakir is pointing to the hole, like excitedly.
Yeah. Get some cool stuff.
Do you remember in history class when you learned about Vegas? You seem like you'd be really into casinos.
It's fascinating. You put something in, get something totally random out.
All right, I toss all of the gems in.
You toss these gems in, and you watch them whirl in this maelstrom, and they start to go lower and lower, approaching the bottom, and then they reach the bottom, and 2 50 gold piece gems pop out of... Nothing happens.
Oh, you know what? I have another idea. This has reminded me. I'll hand Lakir back the gems. And then I remember that I have... Are the pearls that I have, are they magic?
Yes, the fire necklace that you have.
So I think about how many would seem to be a sacrifice to me, particularly. And I toss in 5.
Okay. You toss them in, and you watch them whirl around into the whirlpool, and they get to the bottom, and they pop back up, and then you hear the voice in your head, and it says, "Though this is a worthy sacrifice, I see that you've already been touched by the Fae. You do not need my gifts."
I just step away.
And they magically mend back onto the necklace, and you have 8.
Weird.
The voice told me that I'm already...
heard the voice too.
Thank goodness.
I guess I am already receiving benefits from being in the Feywild. I'm still not entirely sure what that means, but he says that I don't need any of his items.
Either way, it's a pretty cool pool.
I'm glad you were willing to share with us.
While she's doing that, I'm going to also be thinking, I'm going to pull out my cracked immovable rod, and I'm going to cast a mending on it and fix the crack so it is like 100%.
So it will, the crack is fixed, but it is still not working.
Oh, it's not a working one? Oh,
Well,
okay.
it is a working one. It's just like the break in it has negated some magical properties.
As we are walking away, I will be fawning over Tess's and Lakir's new items. And as we're walking, I will be ritual casting Identify on both of them for you and I. Basically, think of it as like a kid on Christmas, just like looking over the toys and like examining every little part. Like, it's essentially what I'm doing for the next 10 minutes.
You cast Identify, and you are able to realize that your magic item, or Tessa's magic item, is a robe of defense. It adds a +1 to your defense. Both
So
while
AC,
in
basically.
Yeah, your AC. I'm sorry. Both while in human form and in wild shape form. So now your wild shapes all get a +1 to defense.
Does that mean
as
his
well.
wild shapes are wearing a cape?
Yes, they will be wearing a cape. It's got an elastic band on your neck that seems to be able to stretch with you to whatever shape you grow into. And Lakir, your magical item that you find, or as you're turning it over, and trying to identify it, it whispers its name to you, and it tells you that it is the Tome of the Stilled Tongue. Other than that, you are able to glean its magical properties. You do not know where it comes from. Okay. Or like what it's connected to. With this cool new information, that's where we're going to end our session. My name is Cade, and I'm the host and dungeon master of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the players to my left.
Mason playing Lakir.
Brooklyn playing Litzy.
Danny playing Tess.
Caden playing Torin.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And another big happy birthday to Mason over here.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you.
The old boy himself.